Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Montekristo podcast. Today, with me, I have Mr. James Danowski, a very special guest that we're very thrilled and glad to have with us today. He is a senior data scientist and a director of IntelliCell company. And then it's a pleasure to have you today, sir, and talk a little bit about your company and what you guys do, and then how you've been able to kind of navigate these waters recently. So, as I've said, a pleasure to have you.
Great. I'm happy to be here.
Amazing. So to start it off, would you be, willing to just share a little bit about you, your company, and the history, and then what brought you to this position?
Yes, I am a long-term data analyst starting back over 50 years ago. I have been pushing the edge of semantic network analysis since the 1970s. Basically, I analyze text and I use a network analysis approach where every word is a node in the network, and the co-occurrence of words is the basis for mapping the overall network structure. And so that's been my main activity over the course. And then I've used that in a lot of different contexts and applications. But more recently, my work has been centered on IntelliCell, where what we're doing is using that semantic network analysis approach to analyze news stories that are relevant to small and medium enterprise manufacturing CEOs.
Okay.
And what we do there is take the news stories for a week and we crunch the words, so to speak, and we then identify the major topics and action strategies for CEOs.
Okay, got it. And then, how long ago was your company founded? How long ago did you start that thing, and then?
We started doing this work about 6 months ago. The company started earlier, 4 years ago, doing other things related to sales management and
Okay.
marketing. And we evolved that company. We've been advised by a venture capitalist for the past 6 months to fine tune what we do. Earlier, we were analyzing the words that were associated with changes in different market indicators like the S&P 500,
Okay.
Bitcoin, the gold prices, the US dollar, and so on.
Okay.
And we had a wider net of what we were trying to do, but the venture capitalist has advised us to zero in on the manufacturing sector. And so that's what we've been focusing on.
Okay, got it. So, to give us a little bit of background, who's your target audience now, and then what exactly are the services that you give to your clients?
Our target audience is now small and medium-sized manufacturing enterprises. The CEOs or other C-level leadership are our audience. And what we focus on is providing an intelligence function of what is being discussed in the news and in social media and in other internet context about manufacturing and about macro trends in the economy in the prior week. And then we provide a weekly report. We're focused on the SMEs, in particular, smaller, in other words, that's small and medium-sized enterprises rather than large enterprises, because the large enterprises have internal staff that do things probably not as sophisticated as what we do, but do monitor the news for their internal leadership. But we find that the smaller companies don't have the resources or the personnel to do that internally. So we provide that service for them.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So basically, you're just, you're providing relevant info for small and medium sized businesses that are into manufacturing. And then that's how you help them kind of grow and then focus on their tasks, right?
Right, right.
Okay.
And we present timely information in that we're
Okay.
looking week to week. So, what has occurred, for example, recently with tariffs, uh, there's
Okay.
been a lot of flux day to day and week to week, and that affects things like supply chains,
Yes,
like
obviously.
reshoring, like automation,
Mhm.
and also personnel related factors. And so uh, we provide the golden nugget, so to speak, for what CEOs can find that gives them action strategies to adapt.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Makes sense. And then what is the way that is kind of, your standard way or is most fond of you of how to find your clients? So are you all through word of mouth, referrals? Are you focusing on marketing? Like, how do you find your clients? How do you find people that you want to work with?
Our VC, our venture capitalist, has a network of uh, approximately 2,000 SME manufacturing CEOs, and he is distributing our information to them.
Okay.
And so the marketing is delightful, actually. We also put out information on the various social media platforms like
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, and X. Uh, and there, it's more of an informative function. We find that our subscribers from those arena are more observers rather than
Oh, okay.
participants.
Action takers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So basically, in the past 6 months, you guys kind of change the way you want to work and then provide value for clients, and then you change the kind of target audience, and then right now you're in a position where you're trying to just follow that route and then scale and then see where you're gonna end up, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. Okay, got it. And then can you tell us a little bit about your experience and then work you have done prior to that? So before that shift 6 months ago, so prior to that, how did you kind of came to that amount of knowledge and the experience that you have?
Yes. I have specialized, as I mentioned, in the semantic network analysis, but also in organizational context. I've done a lot of work over the years on organizational communication and looking at the internal structure of organizations, their interfaces to their environments, and how they process information, how it can be done more effectively. And so, in that context, uh, I have a rather wide scoped net of what I'm searching for in terms of areas to apply these methods. And I have focused on recently on econometric kinds of methods, answering questions about the investment practices of companies and investing in other countries,
Okay.
and looking at predictors of those investment practices. For example, looking at issues of e-government and democratic political processes as uh, predictors of the extent to which companies will invest in a particular country. So, with that wide kind of focus on companies and countries, um, I have been doing different kinds of analyses. I mentioned that we were looking at predicting market trends. And as we like zoom down further closer to the ground, we then transitioned into focusing on the marketing, or I'm sorry, in the manufacturing sector.
Okay, got it. And then how many employees do you have today? What is the size of your company?
Well, we're small. We just have two,
Mhm.
and so I do most of the heavy lifting, and uh, uh, the CEO, he's mainly responsible for the marketing, doing social media promotions, content for that. So that's our division of labor. I'm I'm the person who conceptualizes what we're
Mhm.
doing and then does the appropriate data analysis and the use of AI to uh, focus that analysis into that manufacturing sector.
Okay. Okay, got it. That makes sense. And then are you looking to scale your team in the future, or are you happy with how you two been running the show?
Well, as our subscriber base will increase,
Yeah.
our revenues will increase, and what we plan on doing is creating a team for myself and then for the CEO to do some of the grunt work for us. Um, I I'm happy to do that kind of work in the short term, but
Yeah.
it's nice to work with a team. Over the course of my work, I've resonated most with having a small team, like 4 or 5 or so, working with me, and I provide the intellectual juice and the direction and the focus, and then guide team members in implementing. So rather than me doing it all, uh, we're looking to build two teams.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. Okay. And then what is something, obviously, you want to hire people, you want to grow the team. And then what is something that you look for when you want to either partner with people or either want to hire somebody?
Well, we want to look for people who are very motivated, of course, very eager
Okay.
uh, to do hard work.
Okay.
And we we like to consider people who are not motivated by income, but are motivated by the intellectual challenge of the work.
Okay.
So people who are content oriented in their work choices rather than uh, the process aspects, or just having
Okay.
a job that uh, pays well and has a good work life balance and so on.
Yeah.
And we we find that people who surged out as undergraduates in college and doing independent work, perhaps working with professors or doing internships, are the most likely to fit that profile.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And then obviously, you have certain things that could be better and then you wish to be better, but if there's a one thing that you could change, you can just snap your fingers, have the magic wand, and then change within your business. So that can be whatever it is, having more clients, having more time, having whatever it is. What would be that for you? What would be that thing that you would like to have an easy fix for?
um, Feedback,
Okay.
getting it's tough to get feedback from people in
Yeah.
general. People have been over surveyed over their modern times,
Okay.
and people say brief things when asked questions. Unlike me, who babbles on too much, they tend not to provide a lot of details. So if there's one thing I would change is somehow getting people to comment more. Um, I I resonate on people evaluating what I do in a positive way, and yeah, subscribing is great, but getting into the details, I really like that particular aspect of what you're focused on or how
Yeah.
you approach that and so on. So thinking of ways to generate that, and one of the areas would be to have webinars where it would foster more of a group communication rather than just individuals giving their particular vantage points, having the
Yeah.
interaction among them.
Yeah. Got it. And then when you talk about that, you're referring to current clients of yours or just people that are subscribers or interested in your work or both?
Just in general,
Okay.
my career has been as a social scientist in academia and in consulting, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of studies involving people as
Okay.
respondents, as well as text and with the people-oriented research, I've really come to uh, focus on the benefits of gathering that kind of human data. And so I'm driven for that, more so than the typical person, I think, in this kind of position. If there is such a thing, our VC says that we're just unique in the marketplace, that there's no one doing what we do, and no one doing it, no one doing what we do, and of course, then no one doing it as well as we do.
Yeah, that high of a level, yeah.
So, that's great feedback to hear. I guess that's the kind of thing that, uh, I'm maybe more motivated than I ought to be
Yeah.
in terms of getting positive strokes from people. I stroke myself when I do work and do a great job,
Yeah.
but it helps to have other people involved.
Yes, obviously. And then what do you feel like is the way to kind of change that? Or do you feel like it's out of your hands?
Um, no, I think just keeping keeping focused on that kind of thing is all that's necessary. Just when you mentioned like what would be good to do better, it, it's
Yeah.
it's not that we need to do anything about that. It's just
Yeah.
I guess I'm resonating with the concept that I really am driven by getting positive feedback, and doing the work we do is positive feedback, but having the icing on the cake is something that I relish, and this that's how I feel about it.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Understood. And then let's talk a little bit about, you said you are, implementing and using AI, and then let's talk a little bit about what you think about it, and then what are your thoughts on generally how, each industry, but particularly yours, has been, changed and shifted by AI, and then what do you feel like it's going to look like in the future as well?
Well, AI is great in detailing and
Good.
um, in filling in all the holes in, not necessarily holes, but filling in, fleshing out the framework of things. So what we do is we identify the themes through natural language processing before we involve AI, which is a kind of AI, but it's not generative AI. It's machine learning. So we use these machine learning techniques to do topic identification and then feed those themes to AI to develop action strategies. Now, I've got a 5-page prompt that I use, which as I've evolved in my use of AI, this is like more than I ever imagined I would tell AI what to do. But
Yeah.
with 5 pages of instructions, it covers the full terrain of what we're trying to accomplish. So in those instructions, um, it's a lot of detailing there. And then when AI executes that, it presents it in a way that is fine-tuned for communication. So it's it's like a enhanced spell check in a way. Back in the day when spell checking first came out, uh, that kind of machine learning and, in a sense, AI seemed so dramatic. But then, as it shifted to grammar and restating sentences and longer passages, the acceleration was really noteworthy. And then now the third level with generative AI, with providing the content, and then by pushing, uh, getting the final versions. Generative AI is really a tremendous time saver and a brain saver in that it's tedious to write reports. Like
It is, yeah.
in the past, it would take me like 3 or 4 days to write a report, where now I can do that in a day or a day and a half. So tremendous time saving.
Yeah.
But I have to keep pushing AI, uh, repeating prompts with feedback, like more of this, less of that, and so
Yeah.
on. And so it's like I'm working with a team, and uh, it appears to me as a one-person team. The AI
Yeah.
persona seems like I'm just talking to one person, but when you think about all the things that it does, it's like a little mini organization.
Yeah. Got it. And then was having it and then implementing helpful for you so far?
Oh, yes, indeed. I uh, I find that with these 5 pages of prompts, I can get a rough report fleshed out in just minutes, and then it takes me another day to go through it, edit it, push AI for updates on certain passages that aren't the way I want to see them. So AI has been not only a time saver, but it also makes suggestions that I look at and say, yeah, I could have thought of that, but I wouldn't have, because I just am too busy pressing these buttons and not being open to thinking. That expanded thought process requires reflection, and you might reflect for days to come up with an idea that AI generates in seconds, and so that needs to get factored in to thinking. So it takes me a day and a half or more to work on what AI produces and come up with a final report version.
Got it. Got it. Got it. That makes sense. And then how do you feel like it's gonna reshape your industry? And then maybe you feel like it hasn't, but on the construction, you work with people that are in construction. Not construction, sorry. What is the right word for it? But you work with manufacturers. So how do you kind of feel like, it has changed the way they operate and then what they expect?
Well, having external valid feedback, uh, actually, it's more than feedback. It's feed forward information
Hmm.
and what action strategies to take. And having that be addressed week by week gives a sounding board, gives an external counseling function to the manufacturer. And most of these are family-run businesses with the older people who created these businesses now looking at retirement or close to it. And then their sons and daughters are
Inheriting
moving
it.
into those positions. And so this helps the younger segment who is more likely to attend to our kind of research reports, helps them communicate with their older leaders and generate action strategies with rationale that are persuasive for the older segment and give the younger segment a lot of support for making changes. And it gives a very wide validation kind of aspect in that it's basing these strategies on analyzing hundreds of thousands of news sources in the prior week about what's going on in the industry and gleaning from that action strategies that are cemented in the it's actually not cemented in, but it's like it's a boat flowing in the river of these streams of actions that different companies are taking, and finding the coalescing of currents where it's the speediest route to getting things done. So it provides a basis for change that is rooted in reality rather than just someone shooting from the hip or armchairing it or just saying, "Oh, I wonder what would happen if," this way it's grounded.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And then, what is you think of, at least what do you think is next for you and your company? So in the, until end of this year and then in the years ahead, or do you even have a plan, or is it something that you're gonna navigate?
Well, we love doing what we do. We've had inquiries about selling the company, but I don't know what I would do afterward yet. I really like this, and so in the longer run, as I age, I of course would be interested in moving on to other
Okay.
pursuits, less intense perhaps, um, and so that's the longer range horizon.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And then for now, you're just focusing on growing the team, growing the company, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like
Got
we're agribusiness, cultivating the land here and planting
it.
crops.
Okay. So you feel like you're now in a position where planting the seeds and then waiting for the fruit to be born, right?
Yeah, yeah. Back when I was in college, I had these dreams of being uh, an orchard grower.
Okay.
Actually, not orchards in terms of fruit, but
Yeah.
raising trees. And
Yeah.
it struck me at the time is that I have to wait decades
Yeah.
to harvest. There's after 5 years you harvest a little bit, and then 10 years and 15, 20
Yeah.
before you get your peak crops of trees harvested. And I turned away from it because of that long-term factor. But now I still have that kind of mentality of
Okay.
liking. Uh, I guess it's in general called agriculture or farming.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I just had the privilege of our 5 acres that we gardened, and so as a little kid, learning how to cultivate the land and plant and weed and pick
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Got it. And then do you feel
curate.
like those insights and then, understandings and experiences were helpful, meaning that kind of it taught you patience and then it taught you kind of how important it is for you to build a foundation. It can be of life, company, whatever it is. And then, once you have that solid foundation, you're going to grow. But you have to really put in the time to build it the way it's supposed to be built.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So I feel like we can just wrap it up here. And it was a pleasure to talk to you, sir, and then understand what is that your company does, who you're focusing on, and then how you continue to provide these results. And hopefully in the future you're just gonna be able to scale it up and then become even bigger and bigger. So as I said, it was a privilege to have you, and thank you.
Well, it's been great. Thank you so much for your questions, and I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much.